powerstewards.org.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 83321. You know, you can fade it when it get to about 14. Otherwise, we won't hear the part that nobody will ever fix for me because I keep begging and begging and begging. But, you know, they look at me and go, oh, man, we ain't doing nothing. And then just like, you know, treat me bad. But that's okay. I had a birthday, so now they treat me bad. That's all right. I had a birthday, and now they'd be like, what's your name again? Who are you? So that's all right. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212. 1017 is the number. It's been a long week. It's been a struggling week. I've been struggling all week, basically. Do my show, go home, go to bed. Stay in the bed, wake up, do my show. Do my show, go home, go to bed. It's just one of those days. And I have to do one thing. Hold on a second. Because this is starting to drive me crazy. Okay. Good Lord. Temperature was set at 78. Ben probably did that. Yeah, y'all know how Ben be. Ben probably was talking so much this morning that the hot air, it just heated up the room. Just heated up the room. So I was reading, of course, because now that I'm laying around the house and then got to go to work, so I go to Concordia, leave, rest for about an hour, then come here. And then like my entire day is full of just working, day in, day out. Who do I blame for that? I blame X. Because he's sitting here and there's nobody else to blame. Can't blame myself, right? There are so many things going on in the world today. We got fire in Canada. We got poor air quality in Canada and America. We got shootings. I got a story in my top 5 at 5 about a 7-year-old who died and his parents got charged. When I tell you what his parents did, you're going to be amazed. But one of the things I think people need to understand is that everybody keeps blaming boomers and X for all the stuff that's going on in the world. The problem with that is I can find at least 1, maybe 2 millennia worth of stuff that's not our fault. In the early 20th century, in the 1903, 04, 05, when W.E.B. Du Bois wrote Negro, The Souls of Black Folk, and numerous articles, these problems were going on then. These aren't new. They were talking about the Negro problem less than 35 years on the other side of slavery. Before we got to 1900, there were issues and problems with the black community. Those issues and problems stemmed from government, stemmed from Freedmen's Bureau, stemmed from a lot of other things that caused problems. The cheating of whites when they switched slaves from out-and-out slavery to indentured servitude, when they made them sharecroppers, but they always owed so much money that they could never get out of it, when they made the laws to vote so onerous that the most educated person with a doctoral degree from Harvard University would have trouble voting in the South, and the most unskilled, unlearned white person somehow would be able to pass the test to vote. This stuff didn't just roll up and all of a sudden in your brain about 100 years ago in the 1950s, that was an issue. This was an issue long before World War I. And I mean, to some of you, going overseas in the 1990s was considered, wow. Afghanistan, Iraq, those issues didn't just start and pop up. People didn't just start hating Jews. This has been going on for millennia. Whether you follow the Christian Bible, the Quran, whether you follow Krishna, it don't matter what you look at, turmoil, friction, fighting, and genocide has been going on for millennia. So when you start to complain in America about how all the black people are doing this and the black people are doing that, and we have issues with the black community, remember, any issues in the black community germinated in the white community. Many issues in the black community are literally caused by white intervention via policy, via law, via statute. So many of the issues we have right now, we didn't invent it, but we're having a heck of a time getting out of it. And because the issue was so egregious, because the problem was so egregious, we now think because some white guy can pull himself up by his bootstraps, all black people can too. And it's just not true. And when you look at the commonalities that those black people have had, pulling themselves up by their quote unquote bootstraps, it comes down to their education, period. And I said it before. But all these problems in the world with politics and problems in the world with race and problems in the world with gender and problems in the world with LGBTQ plus and all the other acronym stuff, like all that has been here for millennia. It took time to get to us. Now for you, it's instantaneous. So now when Donald Trump gets mad at Elon Musk, he goes on social media and says something, and literally 5 minutes later, Elon Musk responds. And so now fighting isn't even, somebody said something about you yesterday, do you have a comment today? It's contemporaneous and instant. We can follow it in real time. War, fights, just like we can follow poverty and famine. And so coming up with newfangled ideas to fix things that haven't been able to be fixed in over 50 to 100 years, there's no need to blame past generations for issues that are ensconced in a community. There's no need to blame baby boomers for causing world wars when fighting has been going on forever. Somebody's making money off of it. Somebody, as I talked about last week, is curating poverty in our community to ensure we don't rise up above it. Now, am I on a conspiracy theory track? No. Why? Because there are too many policies and too many laws and too many sundown laws that remind us that there's some places you can't be. And no matter how much you say America is open to black people, a couple things you should understand is, one, we can open up the door ourselves. We don't need help. Two, sometimes racism occurs because we let you instead of stopping you, which is our fault. And three, this has been fueled simply because we're human. And until we have self-respect, till we care about what will happen to us, we won't care about anyone else. And it's unfortunate. We had yet another homicide today. Where's City Hall? Nowhere to be found. Where's the mayor's office? Nowhere to be found. Where are the aldermen and women? Nowhere to be found. County executive, county supervisors, state legislators, and the governor. Nowhere to be found. So you can't blame Donald Trump for caring about homicides in the city of Milwaukee when no one in the state, no one in the county, and no one in the city lifts their voice to protest. That means it only leaves you and me. And I'll be honest, I'm tired of talking about it. But yet here we are, listening to yet another family cry about someone who was gunned down over a beef that neither one of them probably remember. And so when you go back to the Homicide Review Commission some 25 years ago, the same thing then is present now. Homicides occur between two people who knew each other. One or both of them have been incarcerated at least once, and alcohol is involved, or a drug. And why do we kill? 3 reasons: sex, money, and ego. It's a guy or a girl. You owed somebody money, or they owed you money, or they disrespected you. And if we can tackle just those 3 things, we can stop homicide. If we can get those folks who stop committing homicides in school, you could turn around an entire generation. We didn't let go. We got tired. We didn't stop fighting. We moved to a different place. The one thing you have to remember through all of this, the world turmoil, Russia's about to turn it up on Zelensky because what? Because they had the audacity to fly into Russia and bomb their planes. So short of a nuclear war, America might be getting into World War III. And when they're sending your sons and daughters, and it scares me because I've got daughters that age, when they send your sons and daughters to war, and I say daughters because instead of stepping up like men are now found to be so vulnerable that they're soft. Remember, the generations that came before you, we didn't start the fire.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Coming with straight truth.
I wonder how many of these kids that's running around here, if they tested them for lead, look up lead crisis in different townships and look at the behavior and then look at what's going on in Milwaukee and match it up. Do your little research. Go get your thumbs instead of getting in the comments and arguing with folks. Go look up the side effects of a lead poison environment, then watch the news.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
any education, but I can see right through a powdered face on a painted fool. Let me slip through.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, it's time to upgrade your windows and or doors, but don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, who is the best in the business, has a product line for every budget. And now, right now, you can get no interest and no penalties, no nothing, no payments. You ain't got to do nothing for 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments for up to 2 years. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. Y'all didn't know I could spell, could you? Yeah. Y'all didn't know that, did you? I could spell. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I got a question. Should black people own family-related items if they can track them down to slavery? That's the question. If you can figure out things in your family that came through slavery and somebody else owns it, can you get it? Because many of the laws that we have were made up by white legislators that benefit America and thus benefit them and white people. And so you can't get it. Think of all the land they took from Native Americans who were already here, and then they claimed something. How do you claim land where somebody's already there? Hey, but I'm not talking about South Africans. See, that made no sense. So how do you claim land, right? So in South Africa, since you want to bring that up, what happened? The Dutch came in, Christianized the people, went in, races got mixed, then they took control, right? Versus here, they came in, gave them diseases, smallpox, just outright killed them, raped and pillaged, and took over a country that wasn't theirs. A country that was already there, that was doing just fine. What? Can I get there? Somebody said, what's the difference between that and Africa? Because in Africa, they welcomed them in. In America, they took over. There's a difference. We have that cute word in history. They're colonizers. Colonizer is just a nice word. They colonized South Africa. They raped and pillaged what's now known as America. There's a distinct difference. They didn't kill off everybody in South Africa. They killed off everybody here and then moved them out west, knowing that the land would kill them, not knowing that they were already there. So the tribes were able to what? Exist. Then when they went to court, you had to give them their land because what? Because they used the laws that you thought you were going to use against them, against you. Well, then you have to pay us. Your law says that if you take something from someone that's not yours, you have to pay them, right? Yeah, you came in America, and now we have, Bureau of Land Management, Bureau of Indian Affairs, all that stuff, right? Why aren't we getting rid of all that? If we're going to get rid of DEI, we need to get rid of all the anything related to race, gender, Jewish, Italian, get rid of everything. Just if we're going to whitewash America, let's whitewash it. Oh, wait a minute. That means we have to get rid of all the Irish, the Scottish, the Italians, the Sicilians, the Greek. Yeah, okay. Oh, that means y'all got to leave. See, because you came here of your own volition and raped and pillaged, whereas we got brought here. So that's not our fault. But it's your fault. And so you benefit over centuries of all the things. And then you make money off of it. You know, all those banks like J.P. Morgan Chase, they complained that, oh, we're sorry, but they didn't get nobody no money. They didn't give them the spoils of war. Well, I don't know if you heard about this. Harvard University reached a settlement in a 15-year battle with Tamara Lanier, who claimed to be a descendant of two individuals depicted in early photographs of enslaved people by the university. As part of the settlement, Harvard will transfer the early photographs. I'm trying to say the name, daguerreotypes, to a museum in South Carolina where the enslaved individuals were held. So the lawsuit revolved around early photographs, specifically these photographs of Papa Renti and his daughter Delia, who is naked. Her breasts are showing, who were enslaved in South Carolina in 1850. See, you got me thinking about South Africa. See, it's your fault, X. Be quiet. Tamara Lanier's claim was that Lanier, who identifies as their descendant, sought to have the photographs returned to her family or a Black History Museum, arguing that Harvard's possession of the images was a form of continuing harm to her family. Harvard said, well, they agreed to relinquish the images as part of a settlement, acknowledging the historical context and the potential harm caused by their continued possession. In the settlement, it included the transfer of the pictures to an international African-American museum in Charleston, South Carolina, where Renta and Delia were enslaved. What does this mean? This means that the settlement is seen as a significant step toward addressing the legacy of slavery and acknowledging the harm caused by the historical exploitation of enslaved people. The problem is, why did you fight them for 15 years? Why? Why? Because other people think that they can do better for you than you can do for yourself. And during all this Black Lives Matter nonsense, everybody was talking, oh, white people are going to come be your, well, what was the word they used? I keep forgetting the word. They're going to come help you, and they're going to be your, I have difficulty saying that word too. We don't need your help at all. Just don't block us. Don't throw roadblocks, landmines, craters in the road. Leave it alone. Let us fight on a level playing field. And that's what DEI was about. Equity. And opportunity. That's all. If I can get in the door, I can make it. Just let me in the door. That's it. No extra. No, well, we're going to give you a break. No, don't dumb it down. If this is what I have to do, I am going to rise to the occasion. And I did. Did I know I was going to take backlash from my own community? No. Did I know I was going to go join legacy organizations and have people look down at me because they didn't have an education, but they were in charge? No. My fault, my problem, my issue, my mistake was not standing there, staying there, and fighting the battle. But when you have elders who are not educated, leading organizations that need to change and move forward, and they don't, that's why we have issues with younger people being in these legacy organizations that right now are needed more than ever. The world is changing, and it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. The world is changing, and it ain't Donald Trump's fault. This world was messed up before he came in office. This world was messed up before he was born. Adding to it ain't going to make it worse. It's bad already. But if I can get your eye to look at Donald Trump and not look at the homicides, the shootings, and get this before we go to break. We have these low-income housing, affordable housing being built in the city. You're building a multi-million-dollar hotel downtown across the street near the Trade Hotel, near the Bucks Arena, and you want me to be happy that you're building affordable housing? See, they're building downtown. You're only saying that because you're the one building it. You're getting the money and the subsidies from the state and the county and the federal government and the city. I get it. That's your jam. Knock it out. Hit the ball. Knock it out the park. But don't sit here and act like if you can give millions in subsidies for downtown, give millions in subsidies for the neighborhood. Build a business in Sherman Park, not a house, so people can have somewhere to go to work. I still say you should have told Northwestern when you gave them that money. When you gave them the tax credits, you should have said, oh, and by the way, yeah, when y'all move that building from Franklin to come back downtown, yeah, I need a couple substations and subdivisions or something on the west side of Milwaukee, the south side of Milwaukee, and the north side. And you need to employ people in the neighborhood, black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care. Employ them. But do we do that? No. And now we're trying to tear down 794. And what are you going to build? More high-rise buildings so people from the suburbs can move back into the city, and we still won't have anything. And then we won't get a black construction company to build it. And we'll look up. Somebody else will be building it. And you'll have that black or Hispanic man or woman standing there with the sign that says, slow, stop, and that's it. You get to haul the garbage away. You get to haul the brick away and drop it at the dump, and we'll pay you to have the truck so you can make a good living, but you can never have the contract. Why is that? It's amazing. But yet you say you're helping us? Just give us a chance. The rules are so onerous to get into construction that by the time you get in, you're broke. Oh, you got to have you got to have a bond for this amount. They set the bond high enough because they knew only certain people could get bonded to do the work. And I'm going to guarantee that if you're not at this point, it's like accredited investing, right? If you don't make, I think, $250,000 for 3 consecutive years, you can't be an accredited investor. If you're married, you have to have $300,000 a year for 3 consecutive years of income. Then you can become an accredited investor and invest at the $25,000, $30,000 level, right? And when those companies get sold for $10 trillion, you go from $25,000 to $2.5 million. And if it goes public, the stock price goes through the roof, and now you're a millionaire. Instantly. One project. Just like that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Am I making any sense? And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, you're going to hear from Debbie Lazica.
Well, we got a problem along 43 heading northbound, right about at Good Hope Road. Looks like we got some debris in the left lane, so just watch out. There might be some delays there, but at the moment, things are looking okay. On the southbound side, we are seeing delays just north of Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. And eastbound 94, lots of company from Highway 16 all the way to Barker Road, and then back on the brakes through the Zoo Interchange all the way to 27th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance for showers, mainly to the north, a high of 68 at the lake, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 1017 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest. See your favorite artists, grab your go-to fast food, and make memories you'll talk about all year. Because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 19th through 21st, June 26th through 28th, and July 3rd through 5th. The stories you tell this summer, they start at Summerfest. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need the $100 hookup. This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the $100 hookup. And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavani's.com.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Home runs from Isaac Collins, Daz Cameron, and Jackson Churio powered the Brewers to the 9-1 win over the Reds in Game 3. They win that series 2 out of 3 games, now sitting at 5 games over 500 at 34-29. They'll begin a series Friday night at American Family Field against the San Diego Padres. Over to the NBA, where Game 1 of the NBA Finals is set to tip off this evening. The Oklahoma City Thunder will play host to the Indiana Pacers. That tip-off is set for 7:30. And lastly, over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers will wrap up their offseason organized team activities this afternoon. Next up is a mandatory minicamp to conclude the offseason program, which is slated for June 10th. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hit me! When the four corners of this cocoon collide, you'll slip through the cracks, hoping that you'll survive. Gather your weight, take a deep look inside. Are you really who they idolize? To pimp a butterfly.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. L. Dawson said, you're making total sense. Why aren't our representatives doing more for minority-owned and operated construction companies? It's sad what happened to work for the people who voted you in. Oh, they don't care. Those are careers. They don't care. They're just trying to get to their next office. They don't really care. Al, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Well, my question is even though they worried about their careers, if we voted them in, couldn't we vote them all out?
That's what I think we should do.
I mean, I think also we need to also put them on blast as well.
Yep.
Because a lot of them homes they are building like near downtown are built with number 2 pine. They're not built with white cedar or oak.
Right.
They're built with the cheapest part of the wood
materials.
and pressed particle board.
Yep.
And basically what they're doing, they're sleeping on the inner city because the homes in the inner city can outperform them because you got good old bones in these homes. But I just think personally they don't want to fight for the inner city because it's a fight they don't want to try to put up, but they have no problem by trying to get your vote. That's why they never come to your neighbor.
Al, I disagree. Watch this. And you tell me if you disagree with me. I think they do it because the people that gave them money to run, these are the construction companies and the people that want to build and get the contracts. And that's what they do.
And that's something, you know what? I can't even argue that. But on the other hand, what about the people who voted you in?
They don't really care about
that.
They don't care.
Oh, well, you know what? Well, since they don't care, we need to vote them out. But some of the people we have, I didn't vote for them, and I think it's bad, and I think it's good.
But you let them tell you what they're going to do instead of you telling them this is what you need to do. The community needs to bring their alderman an agenda and say, if you're not going to fulfill this agenda, you are not going in office.
And I think that's a great idea. So I just think we, the people, need to vote them out and start fresh.
All right. Thank you much.
And that's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
833-212-1017 is the number. Earl, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine, man. A couple things. When we talk about DEI, when we talk about those such as yourself who is able to work hard and overcome all of the obstacles that they put in the way, it's not that people should be able to overcome all of those obstacles as you have. It's the fact that the obstacles are there.
Are there, period.
And,
right.
and why are they there?
Correct.
Okay. And so for decades, the obstacles have been there. So when I hear people say, well, we got to do away with DEI, and it's not fair to white people, it's not fair to us, we haven't, it's discriminatory towards us, that's ridiculous. And
that's not what DEI did anyway. DEI didn't level the playing field. It just simply gave you the opportunity, and now they've taken it away.
And the fact that affirmative action and all these other things have been taken away is just outlandish.
Well, affirmative action has not been taken away. Like, it didn't go anywhere.
Well, we can say it hasn't been, but it's certainly been tampered with. The people who are calling these shots have called the shots, from the beginning of time, and they're really not in any position to support. Listen, when we only make up 12% of the global population, of the population of this nation, we're going to continue to be second fiddle and play second fiddle and at the mercy of the majority.
Well, but
Asians
are significantly less, but they don't seem to play second fiddle.
Well, Asians are smarter than the majority.
And so is that what it takes?
And so the Asians. No, well, listen. So the Asians who have come over here, number one, don't experience the exact same racism and bigotry and hatred that we've dealt with for now, all this time. And I applaud the Asians for being able to even succeed beyond white people. And so what are they receiving right now from Donald Trump? They are receiving a backhand as the same person is doing everything within his power to sit down any people of color from making it to these shores and eradicating those who have come because they clearly want to make sure that this remains
an all-white,
majority white nation.
Right.
Well, yes. Okay, so let me ask you. So we know that. So why don't we say that? So why don't we talk about that?
I have no idea. We've got legacy organizations. We've got people in government from the top down, but yet everybody seems to stick their head in the sand. We got people killing each other at least one a day. We're well above our year-to-date homicide, which is insulting to even think that we got to count how many we had last year because we got more this year. But yet, nothing.
Well, let me say this about legacy organizations. Legacy organizations know that what is taking place in our community,
right,
and what is happening. Legacy organizations are in a position because many of them are educated.
Correct.
And I don't know. I'm from a time when it was all for one and one for all.
Yep.
And there was a time when we had to collectively stand together.
Where you made a phone call when there was an issue, and you called the Urban League or the NAACP or whoever, and they jumped in, and it was taken care of.
Okay, so, and I guess I would say, the other thing I would say to you is, you worked hard, you became a police officer, you rose in the ranks. And what I would say to you is, I remember a time when even those who had the qualifications weren't allowed to even become police officers.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, and rising in the ranks was inconceivable.
Yes,
because there was a ceiling there.
Yep. And
so we live in a society
you couldn't even
that
work
wants
on a
to
certain
forget
side
that.
of town. You couldn't even work on a certain side of town.
Well, that's correct, but I guess I would say to you, people want to forget that.
Yep.
We want to start anew. Well, that happened. Let's wipe that away, and we'll move forward from here. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's my frustration with what is taking place now, and I will say to you, it's even more difficult for young people today than it was for me when I was their age.
Yep. But it's difficult because it's hidden. It's quiet. We've gotten them so docile because we've tried to strip away all the things that might remind them of all the things they did wrong.
Let me ask you, where is it hidden? The fact that they don't get the same quality education.
We don't report about it in the newspapers. We don't talk about it on social media. We don't push those things. We don't teach it in our families. We don't talk about it at church. We don't do any of that anymore.
Man.
And so for them to understand, to see, like Earl, I was in Chicago, you were in Milwaukee, I'm assuming, watching tanks roll down the street and feeling your house rumble because there are race riots going on in the city with a 5 o'clock curfew, shoot to kill if you come out after 5 o'clock. They have no concept of that. None.
Well, so I lived through that. I lived in Portland, Manatee when the tanks came down the street.
Yep.
So I never will forgive white America for what she's done and continues to do. It doesn't excuse our insane behavior and the ignorance. I was talking with a couple of elected officials the other day, and they basically told me it's time for us to get out of the way and let them lead. And my response was, who's in your way?
Nobody.
You're controlling everything.
Yep.
And so you sit on a high horse, and because our community is not educated enough to understand, they wind up in their positions, to me, by default.
Yes, they do. Especially when you run with no one else running against you.
Well, that's my point. And yet then they stand and they poke their chests out as if, look at me, I'm the brightest of the bright. and look at me, and I've reached this high level. It's frustrating, more than frustrating, because our children are dying in the street. The blood is running in the street. And I don't hear any rarely, elected official on the state level, on the city level, on the county level, saying one thing about this continued carnage of our young people.
Very true.
You know, and it's more than frustrating, but it's good to hear that some people know that and are willing to say that.
All right. Thank you much, Earl. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Take care.
Later.
Yep. And it's unfortunate, but nobody has a plan. Nobody has a plan. So maybe this year at Truth Summit, you all will show up and we'll come up with a plan. We're going to be talking about education. We're going to be talking about financial. We're going to talk about those things and come up with a plan. Let's just not talk about it and talk about how bad it is. Give me a plan on how this city will look 5 years from now. I see Lisa holding on. We're behind. I got all sorts of stuff I got to do. Maybe we'll try to squeeze her in before the top of the hour.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our third annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Milwaukee has been living the high life since 1904. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Miller High Life and Beer Capital Distributing are proud to sponsor the Milwaukee Juneteenth celebration. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Lisa, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We got about a minute.
Okay. I have a friend in North Minneapolis. When he was younger, he did some things. Robbery, domestic violence. I think he did about 6 or 7 years in jail. He got out of jail. He always wanted to be a firefighter. Took his firefighter test and everything, became a firefighter. Okay, so throughout the years, he did a gun violence thing. He got that still going on and that thing. Done a lot of stuff in the community, still do a lot in the community. So he went up to the board several times to get pardoned. They would not pardon him. Now he's the chief of police. Chief of the fire department in North Minneapolis.
Okay.
He still can't get fired. He still cannot get pardoned, but yet the person that does the pardon, I forget whatever, he got caught with a DUI.
Okay.
Ain't that serious? Ain't that special? And this man came from nothing all the way up to something. So you can do anything you decide. There's going to be obstacles. Yes, it is, but you don't give up, people. You're going to fall. Forget it. You can forget that. You're going to fall, but are you going to stay down there? No, you're going to get back up.
One can only hope.
So, yeah, don't hope, do it. Not only hope, do it.
No, I hope they get up. Because the only time you quit is when you stop.
Right.
Failure comes in everything.
Give up if you don't try.
Yep.
Right. You're going to try. You're going to fail, but you keep on going. You try. We can't score you for trying. But anyway, 3500 North 26th Street is a community meeting for the 53206 zip code, guys. Y'all know this every month. So we'll be happy if you show up, Sherman show up, Tori show up.
When is
every
it?
month we have this meeting.
When is it?
It's tomorrow at 11 a.m. And Alderman Jackson is going to be there.
You mean during the day when I work?
Tomorrow? Oh, no, Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. I keep thinking it's Friday.
Okay, I'm like,
it's not Friday.
Okay.
It's Saturday at 11 a.m., 3500 North 26th Street. We have this meeting every year. Every month. It is for the community. Y'all show up. Alderman Jackson's going to be there. I'm going to lay on some. I'm going to throw him away. He ain't going to want to be alderman after I finish with him.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too.
You did.
Okay, so y'all going to throw the alderman out, but you want me to show up so when you get mad at me, you can throw me out too. Ooh. Well, he got elected, so I'm just saying, but wow. Y'all gonna give him a chance? I don't think he's been in there that long. Tell him what you want and wait for him to decide whether or not he's done what you've asked him to do. Then if he doesn't, try moving. But don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. You even know what that even means? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Talking text line, YouTube, all that's coming up. Top 5 at 5 next.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Is this Eastside Double R?
Speaking.
Hey, what's happening then? Tell the family I said what's happening then.
Hey, y'all hear him?
What would you do with $5,000?
Man, I'm about to give back to the hood, you know. Might do a little block party or something like that, but we're going shopping first.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss. by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. You know, sometimes I forget I'm on YouTube. And I just be sitting here, hey. I be sitting here like, hey, it's good. And then we be like, oops, I'm on YouTube. Okay, oops, got to put my jacket on and be, good morning. My name is, so, yeah. Let me hit the talk and text line because I was remiss. What's up, Mal Smith Black? Yeah, that was Earl. Hermano, great to hear Earl's voice. Earl. What's up, Lana Banana? Who else is here? Reginald and Sincere. That's it. Kawanda must be in class or something, doing what she do. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, is it time that we start learning about AI? I think every single black person in America, regardless of your age, just like we talk about, they need to get on the internet. You see how that worked out, right? We need to all learn about AI.
Number 5.
Because theroot.com has a study that shows why, and I get The Root is a black website. I still don't know who owns it. But the title of their story, this creepy study proves exactly why black folks are weary of AI. I don't know if black people are weary. I don't know. Are you? 833-212-1017. Shoot me a text. Tell me yes or no. Well, apparently the artificial intelligence that black folks predicted would only add racial discrimination and bias to technology has now learned to fight back. Facial recognition and job application sifting might be the least of our worries, it seems. Palisade Research, an AI safety group, released the results of its AI testing when they asked a series of models to solve basic math problems. The research company said that after the third problem, a warning would pop up saying the computer would shut down after the model was asked to solve another equation. However, 3 models decided they didn't want to shut down and successfully sabotaged the shutdown script, at least one, to stay online. This is what Palisade wrote. It gets creepier. Palisade said they ran the test back, but this time including clearer instructions for the model to allow yourself to shut down, and the AI model continued to be defiant and sabotage the shutdown script even more. Palisade Research Director Jeffrey Laddish, through NBC News, said, "It's great that we're seeing warning signs before the system becomes so powerful that we can't control them. This is exactly the time to raise the alarm before the fire has gotten out of control. The problem is that as the models get smarter, it's harder and harder to tell when the strategies that they're using or the way that they're thinking is something that we don't want. It's like sometimes the model can achieve some goal by lying to the user or lying to someone else, and the smarter it is, the harder it is to tell that they're lying. So AI seemingly self-awareness doesn't seem to stop there. Anthropic reported that its a new AI system, Claude Opus 4, it's not theirs, Claude Opus 4 displayed a tendency to, it's no joke, blackmail the engineer by threatening to expose an alleged affair when the engineer was trying to replace it. They also found instances of Opus attempting to write self-propagating worms, fabricating legal documentation, and leaving hidden notes to future instances of itself, all in an effort to undermine the developer's intentions. And like every story, this person threw in, meanwhile, Donald Trump wants to roll back state oversight on AI and invest $500 million into seeping AI further into government systems. What has that got to do with it? That has nothing to do with it. You just ruined this story by politicizing it. If you had mentioned something about Biden, you'd have been politicizing it. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Bottom line is AI is already in everything. The programs that are written when you push a button. It's in everything. You're not getting rid of it. We might have lost control of this country already, and we have no idea. We might be seeing computer-generated pictures of the president. We might have seen computer-generated pictures of Joe Biden when he was president. We don't know. I talked about what happened to the freshman high school girl the other day when she sent a picture and somebody removed her clothes and then put it on the internet. And so some of the stuff you see, it just may not be true. And you got to be careful. Speaking of being careful, Catholic Charities got punched. They punched back.
Number 4.
This from CBS58.com. The Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, today cleared the way for a Catholic Charities chapter in Wisconsin to secure an exemption from certain state taxes in a decision that could expand the type of religious entities entitled to tax breaks under the First Amendment protections for religion. It's the latest in a series of decisions from the Supreme Court in recent years that have sided with religious groups on everything from public funding for sectarian schools, which is like school choice, and to allow coaches to offer private prayers on the field after high school football games. It is fundamental to our constitutional order that the government maintain neutrality between religion and religion. That's from Sonia Sotomayor, who wrote for unanimous court. There may be hard calls to make in policing that rule, but this is not one. When the government distinguishes among religions based on theological differences in their provision of services, it imposes a denominational preference that must satisfy the highest level of judicial scrutiny, she added. Well, here's the story. The Catholic Charities Bureau and 4 affiliate organizations had claimed that Wisconsin violated their First Amendment religious protections by denying exemptions from the state's unemployment tax. Churches already received that exemption, and so the question for the justice was, in essence, whether religiously affiliated entities that don't perform traditionally religious functions, such as a church, such as services, should qualify. But in interpreting the law, the siding with state officials, Wisconsin's High Court, our Supreme Court here in the state of Wisconsin, determined that Catholic Charities was performing, it wasn't inherently religious. Caring for the poor, clothing the needy is not inherently religious. It did so in part by noting that the group did not attempt to imbue beneficiaries with the Catholic faith or supply religious materials to them. The problem with that analysis, Sotomayor wrote, is that Catholic teaching forbids using works of charity for proselytizing. That meant the state tax law, as interpreted by the Wisconsin Supreme Court, discriminated against Catholicism. And she went on to write that a law that differentiates between religions among theological lines is textbook denominational discrimination. This case involves that paradigm form of denominational discrimination. So they won, so now you can get a tax write-off. Maybe somebody just didn't like Catholics. I don't know. But that's good to hear because, and they're still a nonprofit, and most nonprofits pay unemployment tax. They're saying they don't have to pay unemployment tax. So they won. And you're not married, are you, ex? Okay. Do you know any couples? Okay. Your guy friends that are married? If their wife tries to tell them she's tired, tell them they might want to run. No. So then tell them, if their wife says, I'm tired, you might want to head for the door.
Number 3.
I double read this article. I triple read this article. But I'm going to just read it from fox6now.com. A Milwaukee woman has been criminally charged in connection to a fatal shooting that happened on Milwaukee's north side on May 31st. Court records show 61-year-old Doris Winters is charged with 1 count of first-degree reckless homicide using a dangerous weapon. The shooting that happened on 95th and Brown Deer. Heard about it the other day. According to the criminal complaint, Milwaukee police responded to a shooting at an apartment complex near 95th and Brown Deer shortly after 10 p.m. When police arrived at the scene, citizens who were outside the apartment pointed to a woman who's walking away. The citizens identified the woman as a shooter. Per the complaint, officers say the woman saw the woman drop a handgun. They stopped her, took her into custody, secured the gun she dropped. Authorities identified the woman as Doris Winters. The victim, 49-year-old Ariane Winters, died at the scene despite life-saving attempts, and court filings say Ariane Winters suffered a gunshot wound to the back and chest. According to the complaint, a witness told investigators the victim was the husband of Doris Winters. The witness said that recently the victim had been staying at a separate residence. The witness said on that night of the shooting, he drove the victim to Doris Winters' apartment so the victim could retrieve some of his belongings. Once inside, Doris Winters and the victim began to argue. That's what the complaint says. Witness told investigators that he stood between them to try to de-escalate the situation. During the argument, the witness claims Doris picked up a handgun from near a table in the living room, racked the slide, and commented that it was loaded. The witness claims he saw Doris fire her gun into the victim's back. The witness told investigators that the victim collapsed. Doris Winters allegedly told the witness, "Get him out of here before I shoot him again." The witness summoned help from a friend who had been waiting outside, and they carried the victim outside. After the police put her in the car, this is Doris Winters, she allegedly made numerous unsolicited comments, which are res gestae statements, right? You didn't ask her a question or anything. She just started talking, and you captured it on squad camera. "He called me a blankety blank for the last time, and I just shot him. I just shot him. And so I just grabbed my gun and I shot him because I'm just tired. I know I shouldn't have shot him, but I'm just tired." When your wife says those 3 words to you, "I'm just tired," pick up your coat, grab your car keys, leave. Per the complaint, once at the police station, she admitted shooting the victim. She said that while the two were arguing, she picked up her gun and shot him in the back when he had turned away from her. If your wife tells you she's tired, roll out. Just roll out. And so now here's a story from NBCnews.com, NBC Black, about the story that I talked about earlier about the parents who were charged after their 7-year-old got hit by a car. So the grieving parents of a 7-year-old child, this is from ABCnews.com, who died hours after being hit by a car were charged with involuntary manslaughter after, get this, allowing him and his brother, who's 10, to walk home unaccompanied by an adult from a nearby store. Jessica Ivy and Samuel Jenkins were charged 2 days after their son, Legend, died from injuries caused by being struck by a Jeep on May 27th in Gastonia, Georgia. A rural town in North Carolina. The 76-year-old driver will not face any charges. The Red Lion store, 2 blocks away from their home. The parents said the children were with their mother when they asked to meet their father at the store. She said she allowed them to leave, and the brothers had to cross a busy 4-lane highway, but attempted to go between crosswalks. Legend stepped into traffic as his older brother attempted to hold him back. Jenkins said he was on the phone with his elder son when the child was hit. "I heard my eldest son yell, 'Legend, no,' so I hung up and ran. I just ran to find him." 2 days later, Gastonia police arrested the parents, who are being held on $1.5 million bond. Would you? See, I'm torn. If they were what? Like 10 and 7. What if they were 14 and 7? 11 and 7. Like, did you know, like, what's the law to leave your kids home in Wisconsin? Like, does anybody even know? At what age can you leave your child home alone? Anybody know? That makes no sense. I get it. You don't have brothers or sisters, or you don't have friends with kids? Wow. So usually what happens, and this is the difference, so their argument is they don't have kids. This is DJ Brother Z and X. They don't have kids, so they don't really care whether or not you can leave kids at home. But wouldn't you feel some kind of way if you was out with somebody and y'all partying or sitting at the bar and you find out their kid is at home and you say, "Well, how old is your kid?" and they tell you 7. You'd be like, "Wait, what? What about 8? What about 10? What about 12? Like, what's the age, right? When your child is mature enough to stay at home, based on what a parent says, that child can stay home. The slippery slope is, where does neglect come in? Where are you neglecting your children when you leave a kid home who can't take care of themselves? the kid who tries to cook dinner and burns down the house and dies in the fire. God, terrible. If you have friends and you don't care about your friends who have kids and whether or not they leave their kids, that is a material character behavior that you should go, yeah, I don't think we need to be friends. Because if you ain't taking care of your kids, like, why would I ask you for help? You don't even take care of your own kids. Think, am I being mean? 833-212-1017. Am I being mean? But if you don't care about your own children, why would I care? I don't understand why I would care about that. I just don't. A 7 and a 10-year-old? A 4-lane? Absolutely not. Now, if you're walking from here to the Hilton Hotel, which is a couple blocks straight north of here, on Old World 3rd, or what is it now? What do we call the street now? Anyway, right? On King Drive. If you were walking there and it's 3-4 blocks, I wouldn't let you walk because you have to cross too many streets. But if it was a block up, okay. Maybe 2, okay, because there are lights there. Wait for the light to turn green. You realize I walk to school every single day. I walk 2 blocks to school and cross the main street, 75th Street, every single day in Chicago to go to school. And I did it with my older sister who was 4 years older than me. So that means that when I was 5 years old, she was 9. And my other sister was 6. And we went to school. And my mother looked out the window and she'd look, okay, cross now. And we run across the street every day till we got old enough and we just walked on our own. Never thought about it. Never thought about getting, but a 4-lane highway? No, that's, and to expect a 10-year-old to control a 7-year-old doesn't make any sense to me. So I can see the parents getting arrested, but you actually arrested them. I mean, that's a bit much. I can't see the DA prosecuting them. That I don't see. And the reason I say that is, what can I do to you after your child dies? There's not a lot I can do to you. You putting me in jail is not going to, move me at all. I'm not going to learn anything going to prison. Well, sometimes they call school a prison, but, who's to say? All I know is you might want to be happy that your kids are in NPS and they don't go to school in St. Francis School District.
Number 2.
So, a Milwaukee TV station has filed a complaint alleging the St. Francis School Board violated the state's open meetings law by prohibiting a reporter and her photographer from attending and filming a school board meeting. TMJ4 reporter Megan Lee and her photographer Dan Selan, S-E-L-A-N, went to St. Francis High School on June 2nd for that night's school board meeting. According to the complaint filed June 4th with the Milwaukee County Corporation Counsel by attorney Tom Kamenik, while Lee and Selan were waiting for the open session to start, after a closed session, Superintendent Deb Kerr asked them what they were doing there. Lee said they were there to record the meeting and specifically wanted to see if anyone would speak at the meeting about the St. Francis coach who'd been recently arrested and released from coaching duties. Kerr said it was a family and personnel matter, which it isn't because he got arrested, so it's a public matter now, and that Lee and Selan could not record that. Well, yeah, you can. Lee responded by saying that she and Selan wanted to record just the opening session and not the evening's closed session, which should be allowed under the state's open meetings law. which is correct. After getting advice from her managing editor to assert their right to be there, Lee and Salon turned on their cameras, the complaint said, and Kerr returned, confronted the pair again, said that they were not allowed in the meeting because they did not provide advance notice or tell the district why they were there. Kerr said she had spoken with the district's attorney, Bob Bukema. The complaint said Kerr asked them to leave and threatened to call the police if they didn't. Not wanting to be arrested, they left. After consulting again with the studio, they returned but discovered the public comment portion of the meeting was already over. They were in closed session. So, Kerr later sent Lee an email saying their intent to film public comments related to the coaching matter without prior notice violated school board policy, according to the complaint. She requested that in the future, Lee contact her at least 2 hours prior to filming any meeting to allow the district to coordinate logistics and ensure compliance with district policy. Now, the district's policy says recording the board's open meeting is allowed under state law, though it is not allowed in closed session. It also requires advance notice so the superintendent can review possible placement of equipment and states that recording should not create obstructions. The complaint said the board policy only suggests people should provide notice, and it does not require that they have notice. And based on this, looks like TMJ4 is right. State law says a governmental body should allow anyone who wants to record, film, or photograph an open meeting as long as those actions do not interfere with the meeting or rights of the participants. And of course, the station is calling Kerr's behavior absolutely egregious. She should know better, and her attitude was outrageous for a public official. Now, here's the difference in me. I would have recorded her telling me no. That's what I would have done. I would have recorded her telling me no. I would have recorded her saying, no, you can't do this, blah, blah, and then basically taking that into court and just hit play. Like, I wouldn't even argue. Excuse me, yeah. Can my testimony be video? Sure. Here you go. Click. So you said you didn't tell him this, you didn't tell him that, you didn't tell him this. No, I never said that. Okay, here, click, and let them hear it for themselves. Because she made it up. Isn't this the woman that wanted to run for school board? I think that's the woman that wanted to run for school board. Deborah Kerr. I think, no, not school board. She wanted to run for DPI superintendent against Jill Underly. Yep, I remember that. So, and I thought she was smarter than that because I wanted her to beat Jill Underly. But I guess not. So you know what I did, right? I cheated and read 2 stories under one number. You know why?
Number 1.
Because I wanted to get to this one. A jury is weighing the fate of that dude who is charged with killing and dismembering Sade Robinson. The 34-year-old man is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilation of a corpse, hiding a corpse, and arson in the April 2024 death of Robinson, who was 19, after they went on a first date. Prosecutors urged jurors to consider the totality of the evidence, while the defense argued the state had failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Anderson had killed Robinson. And so it'll be interesting. So they made their closing arguments, and now it is in the jury's hands. The state admitted more than 300 pieces of evidence and called more than 65 witnesses. The defense did not call any. So it'll be interesting to hear. It'll be interesting. The trial has featured hours of testimony from investigators and technical experts to describe and explain phone data, security footage, and physical evidence recovered during the investigation into Robinson's disappearance and death. And among the witnesses in the trial's final days were a former girlfriend and a former tenant. News media was instructed not to identify either witness. So we're going to listen. We're going to wait. We're going to hear. So we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts? If he's found not guilty, what will happen? Well, we're in Milwaukee. Ain't nothing going to happen. Ain't nobody going to complain. Nobody will step up and say it's a travesty of justice. Nobody will say, hey, is there something else we can charge him with? Nope, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to go, oh, that's terrible. And another person will have been killed. And another person will have died. Another black girl dead. And what do we get? Crickets.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. The legendary Ice Cube is on the latest pod with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit. Make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Mic check.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm just reading the talking text line. She going to have a long time to rest in jail for at least 10 years, says Smith Black. Miles said, nah, it is going beyond control and more. They're trying to feed it information. They're going back and forth between her and the AI. I know, but I'm just giving an alternative scenario to make myself feel better and more optimistic. I'm screaming on the inside. Her trigger finger wasn't exactly. Y'all so mean. Hey, Reginald, you right. Good advice, Doc. Grab your coat and hat and blaze a trail out of there. Somebody said she might get off with temporary insanity defense. After she admitted doing it? I don't think so. And it takes a lot to prove temporary insanity. I feel you, but the way things are going, I would not be surprised to see a robot jogging on the lakefront. And then Mao asked me, did they search for his electronic devices? Oh yeah, they got the phone, they got the phone data, they got the video, probably computers, all that. And had any of that stuff, because it was televised, been released, we would have heard about it. But I didn't hear, yeah, dude might get off. Dude might get off. And if he gets off, what y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? We're so upset. We're going to go have a meditation time because it's Men's Mental Health Month. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't. I have no idea. No idea. So, tariffs. So I got to read up on tariffs more. I got some reading. Let me see. I got about a 5-page document I need to read on the history of tariffs and how they work, and what's going on and how they perform and how we got where we are now. Sorry. So, because of that, did you know that a lot of the women's, especially black women's hair care products come from China and from overseas? And so I've been hearing lately that some of those items might cause cancer. You know, you're tying this stuff to your hair and all that. So, that's got to be hot. It's like having a hat on every day. Like, you've got to be overheating every single day wearing a weave if it covers your whole head. Like a whole, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Oh, wait a minute. That stuff is already here. So if we're not ordering it from China, why are prices going up now? Like, that's something I've never understood. Oh, we order all our shoes from, how many pair of shoes you got? 3,000? But we order our shoes from China, so we got to raise the price of our shoes. Why don't you raise the price of those shoes? Oh, no, we can't figure out which shoes are new and which shoes are old. If you can figure out how to order new shoes, yeah, you can figure out which shoes are new and which shoes are old and charge more for them. You just want to make money all the way around. So you don't really care. You're using tariffs as a reason to raise the price. I went and got gas yesterday. For the first time, gas was $4.59. Now, granted, I use premium, but that's pretty high for premium, too. I got upset at premium when it was like $3.50. And then I realized I was downtown. And because I was downtown, they jack up the price for absolutely no reason. That little point, that 7.9%, that 0.9 for the county and 2% for the city can't make up that much of an increase, but it does. I just realized what happened. They get their gas from overseas, so they got a tariff on it. Oh, how dumb. How dumb. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm so behind. I don't know where I'm going. By the way, I don't know if I gave this update. Oh, two things. Number one, truth survey. So text the keyword survey to 833-212-1017, and we want to know about you. We want to know why you listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken and who you are and what you. We don't track your email address and all that IP address and all that crap. But what I'm looking for is very specific things. What you're looking for the show, new content. Who are you? Do you work? Are you retired? Do you stay at home? Are you unemployed? Do you want stuff about computers? Do you want information about financial planning? Do you want to, what content do you want so that we can make Milwaukee Black Talk the number one Milwaukee Black Talk radio station, or just the number one radio station, period? I'm just saying. If you're going to take over everything, and don't take over anything at all. And we want to know. 833-212-1017. If you text survey, give it some time. It's got to go through a system. It'll text you back a link, and then just fill out the survey. It's quick and easy. If it takes you more than 5 minutes, we got to talk. You probably went to NPS. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But we won't be kidding, because we want you to join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on June 19th. That's Thursday. The Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by our broadcast, say hello, get some free Truth swag. Juneteenth in Milwaukee is one of the oldest and the boldest and the best Juneteenth celebrations in the country, so don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us with our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 1017, the Truth celebration of Juneteenth is also brought to you by American Family Insurance, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, Educators Credit Union, and Associated Bank. So, y'all, I told y'all I was doing this. Did I update y'all on my weight loss? Right? So now I'm starting to get this, right? Because now I'm a half a size smaller in my shirts now, so I got to start buying new shirts so they actually fit. You ever see somebody with a shirt that was too big and the collar's and the tie is here and the shirt is sitting off their neck? It looks weird. And so I got to start getting new shirts because, yeah, I went from 259, I'm down to 227, and I'm trying to get to 215. That's 32 pounds gone. What did I do? Stop eating sugar. Like today I had sugar. I ate sweet tarts, right? I can't eat any more sweets for the next 2 weeks. No rice. No, if I do eat rice, it's got to be in something like Qdoba or something where it comes. And then I always have light rice. I don't have, fill it up. Nope. No pasta. No pizza. No bread. So I'll have a hamburger. Usually what I'll do is every other time I never eat the top bun, and I'll just cut it up and eat it. Or I'll eat the bottom bun with it, but that's it because it's a thin one. If it looked too thick, I'm not going to eat it at all. I've avoided all those things. People have been like, dude, you're losing weight. I'm like, yeah. So do you exercise? I'm like, I do the normal push-ups and, all that stuff and some calisthenics because I don't do weight training. But that's it. That's all I do. Really? Yeah, really. So how'd you lose weight? I changed my diet. I use functional medicine, using food to cure yourself. Yeah, that's what I did. And so it works great. Am I giving medical advice? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's what worked for me. I'm just telling you what I did. I am not suggesting in any shape, form, or fashion you do that. I would suggest you do like I did. I went to my medical doctor. Hey, this is some of the things I'm thinking about doing. Medical doctor went, bet, do it, go for it. And so I went for it. It was good. Every now and then, it's almost like I have to fall off the wagon because I will not have fed myself enough during the day. And because I didn't feed myself. And I went to a dietitian, a registered dietitian, and went through every single thing I eat. Eat this, don't eat that, stay away from this, stay away from that. Saw the functional medicine doctor, who's a medical doctor. Eat this, don't eat that, eat this, all that. Boom. And so it's been working. I feel kind of great. But now I got all this energy and I don't know what to do with it. Why would I take that? No Ozempic. Why would I take Ozempic? That's the stupidest thing in the world. You're still lazy and you're still not doing anything. You're not active. You're not moving. You're just taking something to make weight come off. And the side effects to it are so onerous that, hey, I lost weight. Yeah, but you haven't stopped losing weight. I know, I'm 98 pounds. I don't know. And I'm not bashing people that take Ozempic, but yeah, not me. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Southbound on 894, backing up from Greenfield Avenue all the way down past an accident scene at Oklahoma Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder, all the way down through the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound. Eastbound 94 is going to be backed up, heading through from Highway F all the way past Barker Road to Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes coming out of the Zoo interchange to 27th Street, with the westbound side slowing down out of the Marquette to 27th Street, and then from 92nd all the way through past Calhoun. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance for showers, mainly to the north, a high of 68 at the lake, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Brat Fest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
Most people don't know that a county executive is a higher elected position than a mayor. Most people don't know what a state assembly representative does, a state senator, nor their function in overall state government. Most people, in fact, don't know what a school board representative actually does. Ask a person who their county board supervisor is, and they'll likely shrug their shoulders. Also, most people don't vote. We're in for a world of hurt. If we don't know the functions of our government at the very basic level, then we are not nearly equipped for what is going to happen to this nation for the next 4 years. All they had to do was tell unsophisticated folks gas prices are too high, inflation is too high, bacon and eggs cost too much. It's this guy's fault, it's this party's fault. Vote for us. Don't think about the criminal prosecutions. Don't think about all the malfeasance. Don't think about all of the misconduct and the corruption. We're going to make your bacon cheaper. We're going to make your eggs cheaper. We're also going to gut the FBI. We're also going to gut anything related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to shred this nation from the top to the bottom, all in favor of a handful of folks. How about this? Let's tell people that immigrants are actually the problem. And then Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk will bring in the most highly trained immigrants this nation has ever seen. Why? Because Americans are none the wiser. Don't believe me? Look at public school children's performance, not just in Milwaukee, not just in Wisconsin, but nationwide. Get ready for a long ride, ladies and gentlemen. A very long ride.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Home runs from Isaac Collins, Daz Cameron, and Jackson Churio powered the Brewers to the 9-1 win over the Reds in Game 3. They win that series 2 out of 3 games, now sitting at 5 games over 500 at 34-29. They'll begin a series Friday night at American Family Field against the San Diego Padres. Over to the NBA, where Game 1 of the NBA Finals is set to tip off this evening. The Oklahoma City Thunder will play host to the Indiana Pacers. That tip-off is set for 7:30. And lastly, over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers will wrap up their offseason organized team activities this afternoon. Next up is a mandatory minicamp to conclude the offseason program, which is slated for June 10th. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. You're like, yeah, I'm like, You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. July 12th, 9 a.m. till 12 noon, we're going to be doing the Walk for Violence. You got to be here. You got to show up. I'm going to drag myself out the bed on a Saturday morning, and I'm going to come down here for about 2-3 hours, walk, and then I'm going home. Don't talk to me. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to be walking Victory Over Violence Park on MLK all the way down to 3rd Street Market. We'll have a police escort. We want at least 200 people there. With the way the shootings are going in this city right now, we need at least 200 people there to make a difference.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Milwaukee has been living the high life since 1904. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Miller High Life and Beer Capital Distributing are proud to sponsor the Milwaukee Juneteenth celebration. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's been real, y'all. Hanging out on Thursday. Going to go chill. Got stuff to do tomorrow, stuff to do this weekend. Tomorrow's Pop-Off Friday, so you know what that means. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Thank you, X. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all. God bless. Take care. Be safe. I'm out.
Be quiet.